All right, so if you guys haven't heard, there's a term that's been floating around called leftover women. And it's a term that I've actually heard around the city a little bit, but I never really thought 2 cents into it until recently. The term leftover women has become kind of like a nickname for women who have been, I guess you could say, like left out of the dating pool because I guess they feel like they have ran out of time and they're now starting to like panic because they feel like they're running out of time to either get into a relationship or start a family. Or yeah, these women are panicking because they want to be in relationships. It's kind of like a even worse situation because when you start panicking, it kind of makes you look desperate, and when you look desperate, nobody really wants to be with a desperate person. All right, y'all, so let me be 100% honest. I feel like the whole term leftover is a pretty harsh term to even talk about in the first place. I think that's pretty insane to call anybody leftover no matter what situation they're in. But when it comes to the idea of people panicking because of their relationship status, I can say that I have seen panic happen. I can hear it when, I'm talking to some of my friends or when I go out in some of these like social groups. You can kind of see how, I'm not gonna say desperate, but you can just see how some people are really focused in on the fact that they haven't started the relationship that they want yet. They're getting angry because of it. And yeah, so I really feel like I might have touched on exactly what the issue is. The issue is the anger part. A lot of people have been, or a lot of women seem to be getting angry at the decisions men are making as far as like not wanting to even be in relationships. Like, I can say that wholeheartedly, I'm pretty much one of those guys that's not even thinking about a relationship right now, but people get like mad when I say I'm not dating. It's like they try to like force me into saying or admitting that, you know what, there's gonna be a woman out there that's gonna meet you and change your mind. And like, what's wrong? Why do I have to change my mind? And so yeah, I basically just want to talk about like how it starts to kind of mess up the dating pool, because I feel like because people are starting to get a little bit more desperate than usual, it's kind of like forcing everyone to be like, oh, well, I guess I have to pick now because you're ready. So because you're ready, I have to be ready. I don't know. It does get a little frustrating. So anyway, what's crazy is this anger that people are starting to show out here because people aren't wanting to date. When I say people, I mean men. The anger that women are starting to show towards men who don't want to date is getting like a little ridiculous in my opinion. And it just only further makes the situation even worse because it's like, yeah, you know what? You're really starting to show me even more reasons why I think I'm 100% happy just being by myself, taking trips, making YouTube videos, working out, doing everything but trying to find someone and woo her or pursue her in order to be in a relationship where I take care of her. Like, why would I want to pursue you down and just give you the world? Because when it's all said and done, what's the trade-off? Like, what's the return on the investment of spending my time on finding somebody in this world when the trade-off is going to be I just gave you everything that I had, but in return I don't get anything? That is ridiculous. And I think a lot of guys, especially who are in my shoes, are starting to realize like that's basically what's going on. In order to be in a relationship, the trade-off is nothing. All you get is someone who's gonna make your life a headache or make it harder or more uncomfortable for no reason. And look, I might be completely wrong. Maybe there's women who do want to pour into a relationship just as much as I would. And you know what, maybe until I actually find someone who's on that type of energy, that'll probably be the day I maybe change my mind. But as of right now, I haven't been seeing anything or anyone that I feel like would make me feel the same way or do the same things that I would do for them in my life. And maybe that's really the core reason of why we're at where we are now. It's kind of like a standstill because a lot of women are deciding that they're not going to change their standards. Men are deciding that they have standards now, and it's just getting not good. But the real problem is there's no even ratio. So when both of us are having a standoff, and there's definitely less men than there are women, there's the women who are completely not even in the game, who are completely left over, I guess you could say, because the ratio in DC is like what? For every 100 women, there's like 92.1 men or something like that. The ratio is a little off. I'm like, even when you watch my videos, you can go to certain events and you can see how there's usually a drastically lot more women in these events than there are men. Even when I first moved here, I think one of the first things I noticed, because I was here during like the Valentine's Day era, and a lot of women were putting together these like companies that make it where it's like easier to date, I guess, like kind of like this like singles events where single people come together, or where single people are supposed to come together and meet each other. But what's crazy, what a lot of people are finding out, is that a lot of men who are single don't even want to bother themselves but going to these type of events, because I've seen so many things that I've read, and some guys are saying stuff like, why pay money to get turned down when I'm getting turned down for free all the time in real life? And then other guys are saying, you know, there's no return on, if they were to spend their time and effort on somebody and money on somebody, why would they do that only to get the short end of the stick when it comes to dating event? Me personally, I hate dating events. You won't find me at one like that, because when it's all said and done, a lot of the women who go to dating events, and I hate to even say this, they fall within that term of the leftover women term. I'm desperate and I'm mad because men out here aren't trying to pick me, so I'm gonna go to events where everything's swayed in my favor, where men have to pick me. And that doesn't make men feel like all of a sudden, well, I want to chase after you. No, heck no. So anyway, I just wanted to like bring that term to you guys' attention. I know this might be something that you never really heard of. It's not nothing I'm making up. You guys can Google this stuff. There is a term called leftover women, and people are actually talking about it, making multiple videos about this. And I do feel like this topic does center around what it's like living here in Washington, D.C., especially if you're trying to date and live out here. Yeah, for men, women are going to say that it's in our favor because of the ratio, but it's still not in our favor because there's a lot of women who haven't been taking the time out to work on themselves, because all they've been told their entire life is that only thing you got to bring to the table is them as a person. Just be nice or something and you're gonna get picked. But I mean, what have you been doing with your life up until me meeting you? Like, are you just waiting for someone to come along and just completely change your life just because I think you look good? Nah, I'm good. I'm about to take these trips. I'm about to live my life. I'm about to have my place to myself, and I'm gonna be perfectly fine. Very, 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 very happy. It is what it is. At this point in my life, I've built too much to just give it away to somebody who literally is just breathing air. That's my 2 cents. All right, guys. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of you guys that are going to hate me after this video, but it is what it is. I just have to keep it real. All right, guys. See you in the next video, if you're still around. All right, bye.